all rise, and Brother Brown's going to give us an invocation, and we'll pledge allegiance to our flag.
Thank you, Father, for this day. And as we come to be about the county business, we ask you to bless us in all that we do or say. In your name we pray, we say amen.
Amen.
Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, gentlemen. First order of business this morning is consideration of December 10th minutes.
I didn't get those in my packet, Scott.
I didn't either.
I didn't either because they weren't ready, I guess.
Were we between,
do
were
you
we
have the
between
minutes?
attorneys at that point?
Yes, I sent them in an email to
Oh.
everyone.
Oh, they were in the email.
Okay, okay. I missed that.
I didn't print them off. I had reviewed them and sent them back to Leah. It was Sunday, I think, or Saturday, so she'd been sick and got behind with her minutes. Do you just have one copy of these?
I got an extra copy here, if somebody needs one.
Gentlemen, you want to read through the minutes?
I'll trust your judgment, Mr. President. If they appear good to you, I'll second it.
Okay, I did review them. I had one change. I found one, a one-word change in here, and she made it, I see. So I think they're, pretty much summed up what the meeting decided. So I would move that we would accept these minutes.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Mr. Miller, that's the approval of the minutes.
Aye, yes.
Okay. Good. Okay. Next item of business is election of president and vice president. I thought it was commissioner and vice. Anyway, at this time, and I'm gonna ask Scott if he will chair this portion of the meeting for us. And
Yes, Mr. President. What we have is the election of the president and vice president of the Planning and Zoning Commission, customary for beginning of each year. Anyone have any?
I nominate Walter McKay for the president.
Do we have a second?
Does Mr. Miller, can he hear this?
Mr. Miller, this is the election of the president and vice president, Planning Commission. Mr. Billingsley offered Mr. McKay to be the president.
And we're still waiting for a second for that motion?
We're still waiting for a second.
You have a second for Walter?
No, sir. No second? Motion failed. Any more, anybody else?
I nominate Keith Rouser as our chairman.
Mr. Miller, Mr. Brown offered for Mr. Rouser. to be president? Do we have a second? No, sir, not yet.
I'll second that.
Mr. McKay seconded it. All say aye.
Aye.
No?
Aye. Oh, no, I vote aye.
Aye. You have an aye, Mr. Miller? Mr. McKay?
I vote aye.
Aye. All in favor? Aye.
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 Motion passed.
All right.
Mr. Rouser? Mr. President, Vice President? I have a motion for Vice President.
Bill Gillis.
Bill?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Rouser. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I can't hear the motion of the second.
Mr. Billingsley, I'm getting everything twisted up.
Mr. Rouser.
Mr. Billingsley will be the Vice President. Everyone voted aye?
Do you have a second?
Yes.
I vote aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
Okay. Congratulations. Yep, you run the meeting. You're in charge. Thank you, Scott.
Well, I've never done that, so that wasn't very good for me.
No, you'll get better at it.
We ready to go forward now?
Yes,
Sir?
ready to go forward.
Yes, sir.
All right, first up is Bear Creek Water Association.
May I, Mr. President, I would like to offer up a introduction as such to our new board attorney. Andy Clark is here for the first time.
That's right, I'm sorry, I overlooked that.
I think that from everything I hear, he's a good attorney and will do a good job. I do have a concern, though, that I'd like to be put into the minutes, and that is that the Planning and Zoning Commission was not part of this decision. I am unaware of our attorney, and I think that the Planning and Zoning Commission should be able to select their own attorney, or at the very least have some input into the Board of Supervisors' decision. And I'd like that to be reflected in the minutes so the Board of Supervisors can get a clear read from at least how I feel about it. And with all that said, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here. All right. That's it? Okay, thank you for your observation. Bear Creekers.
Mr. President?
I move we open the public
Open
hearing.
a public
Open
hearing.
public, I'm sorry. Now we'll open up the public hearing.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, so it is.
Mr. Miller, chime in.
Good morning, and thank you for letting me come here today. My name's Nolan Williamson. I'm the general manager at Bear Creek Water Association. We are the water provider for a little bit of the city of Ridgeland and a little bit of the city of Canton and a lot of the city of Madison and, of course, a good portion of the county around Gluckstadt. Our office is in Gluckstadt. And we are needing to drill a new water well. We're actually wanting to drill two. One is in the city of Madison, and it's under construction as we speak. And this one we would like to drill on Clarkdale Road. And our understanding from the zoning book is there is no zoning for a utility, a public utility or a quasi-public utility, you get a conditional use. So I'm here today to get a conditional use to look at drilling a water well on the east side of Clarkdale Road. Just because of growth in both, primarily residential, but also commercial, we just, quite frankly, need more water. So this would be our 12th well. We would probably get started in the spring, and we need the water from really just keeping up with our customer base, being able to provide for our customer base, making sure we can provide the water necessary for fire protection, which is, of course, is a big issue. And this is a well site. It will not be a tank. Not now, not in the future. The elevation's not the right elevation, and the property wouldn't be big enough. So there will not be a tank. This would be a well. And it's on Clarkdale, right near the Entergy's got a big cross-country power line with a 125-foot right-of-way going across. It'll be right next to it. So I'll be happy to answer any questions you have or give you any more information.
Is it going to be pumped to the nearest tank, or how?
Well,
Where's it gonna go if there's
when you
gonna- if
put a
there's not gonna
well,
be a
it, it pumps into your system. So
Okay.
in some cases, it could go straight to the tap, but yeah, I mean, the tank it would go to is it would, for the most of it would make its way south down Clarkdale Road and wind up in the tank at Hoy Road that's right there at Class Plantation.
Yeah.
That's primarily where the water would,
I was just curious. I don't know.
yeah,
I didn't
that's
know how that
primarily
worked.
where it would go, yes.
So y'all putting down fire hydrants as well?
Well, this is just a well, so this is just a site. Now, also on a separate project, we're gonna be laying a new 16-inch along Clarkdale Road water line, and yes, we will be putting down fire hydrants. Really any new lines we put down all have fire hydrants. We're about to put a new line down Yandle Road between Bainbridge subdivision and Highway 43. And because it's like a 3-inch line, we're going to put down a 12, and it'll have fire hydrants to try to get some fire protection in that 2 miles. So we're going to probably start that in the next month and a half.
Will you be treating water on site there at the well?
Yes. What we have is currently we have 10 wells, okay? And we got number 11 under construction in the city of Madison. This will be number 12. But of the 10 we operate, all of them are treated on site. Now, of those 10, 9 are just chlorine only. One of them, one on Rice Road across from Trace Vineyard, has an iron removal plant with it, but the rest are just chlorine treatment only on site. Yes, sir.
The only reason why I ask is we're seeing a lot of sediment in our water in Germantown. And
Sediment?
It's particles of some sort.
Okay.
When ice melts, it's white residue. Looks like something that settles out of the water.
Okay.
I'm just curious.
I'll get it looked at. We'll see what's going on. You live in Germantown. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get it looked at and we'll see what's going on.
I appreciate it. The water filter doesn't seem to do any good.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm fixing to put a new $60 water filter in my refrigerator and see if that helps any, but
Yeah, we'll take a look at it.
there's a lot of water right out of the tap, so
Okay.
I'm kind of curious about what it is.
Any other questions? I believe there's any opposition.
No, I'd move we approve the request.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that the request be approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Mr. Miller, that was the approval of Bear Creek.
Properly seconded. You got a motion second?
Yes, sir.
All in favor? I vote in favor. Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Bear Creek.
Nolan, the board meeting be February 1st, 9 a.m.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, next up, Mr. Robert Bilbrew, rezoning R1 to A1 agriculture.
Mr. Miller, can you mute your phone, please?
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for allowing me to come before you today. My name is Robert Bilbrew, and I'm the Vice President of Bridgecom. And we've purchased 19 acres of land out on Robinson Road, and we're in the process of making a subdivision. We're building 11 homes, 1,600 square feet minimum, and we want to get it, part of the land is zoned R1 and part of it is zoned A1. And we want to get all of it zoned A1.
So you want to get all of it zone A1?
A1.
Okay. Give me 1 minute. Yeah, where y'all at?
Have any questions?
Yeah, you come on.
Just a note in the minutes that the Health Department has tentatively approved the layout of your subdivision contingent upon y'all providing percolation tests for each lot before
Right before, right, yeah.
surface water.
Right, we had them come out and look at it, we laid the lots out, had them come out and look at it, and they gave us a tentative approval.
Right.
No one object to what y'all doing, right?
No, we sent out the certified letters. It was 3 properties that was attached to it, and
Okay.
we sent out certified letters, got the return receipts back, and I talked to a couple of guys, and no one objected.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve petition request.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that the request will be approved. Vote.
Mr. President, may I speak? Since Mr. Bilbrew agreed to a 1,600 square foot minimum, need to make sure that's in the minutes, that that's a condition. Do you agree to that, Mr. Bilbrew?
Yes, oh, yes.
So that would be a conditional rezoning
Okay.
with a 1,600 square foot minimum.
Okay.
All right. All right. Do we need to restate the motion with those conditions?
So Brown, you add that to your motion?
Yeah, we just add that to it.
Okay.
Second.
All right, ready to vote? Been moved and properly second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Mr. Miller, that was Robert Bilbrew, rezoning R1 to A1 with a 1,600 square foot minimum. Had a motion that was approved and seconded.
I vote aye.
All right,
All
thank
right, ayes
you, sir.
have it, so it is.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Bilbrew, February 1st, 9 a.m. Okay. In here. Yes, sir.
All right. Next, we have Mr. Percy Grant. State your name and purpose.
Percy Grant.
Speaking at mic.
Percy Grant. We just together.
You can just state your purpose and all.
Tell them what we're up here for.
We have been, rezoning.
You want to rezone from R2 residential to C2 commercial?
Yes.
Yeah.
What are your plans for the property? I mean, and this is not a hearing to approve any kind of site plan or anything like that. I'm just curious.
Well, we gonna open it back up like,
Speaking of Mike.
Speaking of the microphone.
like a recreation, like people can rent it for, you know, parties and, baby showers and different stuff like that. And mostly like a game room type situation just on the weekend.
Okay, so you're not planning to change anything that's currently on the property. You're just wanting to get the rezoning so you can operate it in a different manner?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Eric, can you tell us y'all hours of operation?
Mostly gonna be on the weekend, probably from like 8 to 12, somewhere up in there. No later than, you know, the county ordinance.
Okay.
It's 8 to midnight?
Yes,
8 in
sir.
the morning to midnight,
No. In the evening time.
8 p.m. to
8
12
p.m. Yeah, no later than 12 or 1 o'clock at night.
Y'all sent a notice out to those in the community?
Yes, sir.
Any opposition?
Sir?
Any opposition?
No.
I've had quite a few calls on it. They're concerned about, you know, its use, because that is a neighborhood area. And I do have, I don't know, 6 return receipts.
What is, so it's essentially the clubhouse in the neighborhood today?
Yeah.
Or what's it being used for today?
Been used for, well, you say it had a little store there and
It been,
something like that in the past. That's what it was.
Okay, but it's empty now and there's nobody using it for anything?
No.
no,
ain't.
yeah.
But we went and redid some, brought it back up today because it's about to fall down.
Do you plan to serve alcohol at these functions?
Well, no.
Are you willing to make that a condition of the rezoning?
I mean, what kind of, you for talking about beer?
Any alcohol. We've been through this before on another similar venue, and that was a big issue as to how that was going to be controlled. The people who are leaving the event at wedding reception or whatever after midnight, driving through the neighborhood after having consumed alcohol was an issue. I just wanted to understand how you were going to mitigate that, or how are you going to control that?
Well, that was a plan. I mean, we had beer license, you know, in the past. I mean, it's sitting right on 16. It just ain't in the middle of the neighborhood. It's sitting on the main highway of
Okay.
16.
I understand. Thanks. Night and drive down the road. I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that was a concern when we addressed this before, and I wondered how you were. But you're saying that they'd have to turn and go specifically through the neighborhood.
No.
If they wanted to do that, it's right on Highway 16, so entrance and egress is going to be off the highway.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Are you applying for a liquor license there?
No, sir.
Okay. So, is it a grocery store there now, or a business?
No, it was game room the last time I was in it.
Oh, okay.
And I just moved out of it for like 3-4 years, and I just went back and after it started about to fall down, just went ahead and started putting a roof on it, doing some repairs to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Planning Commission, what happened in this case was this was a community store, game room,
Yeah.
and when they, and it's been zoned R2, it was a non-conforming property with a major structure on it. So when they cease to use it, it reverts back to the R2 zoning. And that's what happened in this case, and they came in to get, a permit. Well, I can't do anything. You can't open it back up because of that nonconformity. So that's where the rezoning comes in. I do believe that there will be a serious parking problem if that is used as an event venue, because it was a store. I think the parking's going to be a major issue if you have that used in that capacity. That's just my opinion.
That's something that we have to address.
It needs to be addressed on basically the use of it. I would agree. Yes.
Site plan requirement,
Maybe something more thorough in parking requirements.
Are they required to come before us subsequent to today to address the site plan? Or is this it?
This is it, but I mean, because of the nonconformity, but I think the use is going to be a problem, but that's my opinion on the parking.
Right.
I mean, we got plenty of parking there, that's the problem.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know the area real well, and I don't think that really would be a parking problem, because a lot of time they park there by that gym, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
and we
right.
got a lot across the street.
Right.
When,
And over there at that car lot.
two lots across the street in front of it.
So, that's the path that they have been taking.
Oh,
in the
okay.
past. Yeah. Do we have any objection?
Any opposition here? Scott, you had,
Say you had opposition?
Ma'am, are you here for,
you with them?
I stay next door to this place.
did you step up to the microphone, ma'am?
I'm right next door to the place.
all right, pull the microphone down and introduce yourself, please.
I'm right next door to the place.
State your name.
Gloria Gowdy.
Okay. Are you opposed in this?
I'm opposed of it being as a nightclub. Where they might have a nightclub there at night, because I'm right next door to it.
Miss Gloria, I talked with Mr. Grant and Mr. Mack on yesterday.
Okay.
They assured me that it will not be a nightclub.
Will not be a nightclub.
Doesn't a condition, motion, a condition?
Yeah, it would not be that. It will be, as they state, a game room,
Party venue?
yeah, venue, something like that.
Yes, sir.
So I think you'll be pretty much good.
And the only thing that we was looking for a couple of neighbors in the fence to make sure they don't block our driveway coming into our house,
Okay.
It goes to the parking issue too, yeah. I'd say that.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna block it.
Yes, sir.
I don't think.
Get their phone number, and if they block it, call him on his cell phone and make him come move, whatever it is.
I do.
Thank you, ma'am. Are there any other questions?
Y'all have any issues with hours of operation?
I have a question, Scott. Is this going to remain a non-conforming use for this land, or will this rezoning put it in?
It'll put it in conformity.
Okay. Thank you.
Will y'all come back up and tell us what the hours of operation?
Give us the hours and restate the purpose of the use of the building.
Like I said, it mainly gonna be like on a Saturday and Sunday. Just like on the weekend like, what, you know, mostly like watching the game and stuff like that. When, you know, I don't rent it to someone that want to have a baby shower or, you know, something like that. But I'm not trying to use it for that, just no nightclub.
So what about parties?
Sir?
What about parties? You said,
Artists.
yeah, you said.
I mean, you know, a baby shower and all that, if you really consist, you know, as a party for it, then, you know, I mean, you know,
Do you
like,
anticipate that there will be like a regular neighborhood, let's all go over to the,
and watch, yeah,
and watch the game on Sunday afternoon? Could that turn into some kind of regular party that would create a de facto nightclub environment, whether you want it or not?
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, you know, when you got different people come and watch the game, you might have 40 people,
Sure.
you know.
Sure, I understand that part. I think the lady who objected, and I think some of our concern, or some of my concerns, is that once it starts, you don't really have any way to stop it from becoming a nightclub, whether you want it to or not. If you're going to rent it out to groups of people, the neighborhood could create its own little group and pay you to rent the place out every Friday night, and for no reason except just to gather and have a few beers. I mean, at that point, it's kind of going beyond its wedding reception, baby shower, watch the game on Sunday purpose. So I'm not saying I'm against that. I'm just cautioning you to be careful, because the lack of objection that you have in the surrounding area might change if it starts becoming a regular nightclub type hangout.
Well, like I said, we will be using it, you know, every weekend, you know, for it, and gathering up, watching the game and doing different stuff, you know, and like shooting pool. I mean, for it and just nightclub type, I ain't really trying to make it all that.
Okay.
Are you gonna have beer sales there? Are you gonna
Yes,
sell
sir.
beer? Okay.
So you already have a license to do that?
Yeah, I got a license. I mean, it's been in operation way before I was born. The building been there, and I went back and did a little remodeling. They complained about the fall, and you know, then I go back out and try to fix it. Then you know, you got problem with some people, and some people glad. I mean, you know.